Hello, and welcome to the start of the week, to Monday, and to the 25th of January. And if there is a date in Scotland, well, one of the two. The 30th of November, of course, is St Andrew's Day, but the 25th of January is Burns Night, a celebration of Scotland's national bard, Robert Burns, born on this day, the 25th of January in 1759. And tonight and all through this week and probably all through the next few weeks, there will be people gathering, virtually this year of course, to celebrate the man, his poetry, his songs and his life. Now, I think it's fairly common knowledge that I'm not really thralled to Burns. I'm not a huge fan, despite having been born in Ayr and gone to Alloway Primary School. Maybe that's part of the reason. This time of year for me was Burns competitions, and for most of my childhood, in fact, the book that you're looking at now was a prize for a Burns singing competition back in the 80s. In fact, it might even have been the 70s now I'm thinking about it. Anyway, but I do admire some of his poetry, not so much the man, and I'm actually quite surprised that he hasn't been the subject of well, you know, nowadays people go around asking us to rethink personalities from history. Well, I'm surprised Burns hasn't fallen to that yet. People so easily forget that the same man who wrote "A Man's a Man" for all that considered emigrating to the Caribbean and becoming an overseer on a plantation, overseer of slaves. So I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up on that yet. But his poetry certainly speaks all across the world. Perhaps because it speaks to our humanity, I don't know. I find the most challenging of, some of the most challenging of Burns' poetry is actually contained in a poem to a louse. He's supposed to have seen a louse on a lady's hat or a coat, I can't remember which, in church one Sunday. Man should have been concentrating on what the minister was saying, for heaven's sakes. But anyway, he saw this louse and he wrote a poem, part of which says, "O wad some power the gift to gie us, to see ourselves as ithers see us, it would frae mona a blunder free us and foolish notion." I've often reflected on that idea or thought that I heard somebody say once, we can't see the goldfish bowl that we're swimming in. How we can all benefit from a little outside perspective. Of course, that's hard to get, which makes it all the more important that we have people around us who can tell us the unvarnished truth about ourselves when necessary. We all need that from time to time. But it's also just as important that we have the humanity to be open to what they see. In other words, we're not all perfect. And maybe when we judge people like Burns, we need to remember that we're not all perfect. We all make mistakes. And we can't judge people's mistakes, particularly people who lived at Burns' times, by our life, by our world. We all make mistakes, and if we could go back, we'd all live differently. Anyway, you have a good Monday, whatever you're up to. You can hear the life around us starting here. As people are turning up to do their jobs, to do their work. You have a good Monday. You have a good start to your week. Take care. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And God bless.